Ending that the creators don't either.
Absolutely. So, guys, let's do it. Let's jump into it. Ready for grand finals, everybody.
Whoa.
5minBot versus HjaxAI. You know what? And we have to remember it's 5minBot, not 5minBot. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys do the introductions.
Alrighty. So here we are finally on Catalyst LE. Up here on the top left-hand corner of the map, it is HjaxAI.
All right, spawning in the bottom right position.
Don't forget the intro music.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, spawning in the bottom right position as the blue Terran, it is the Terran player 5minBot.
5minBot. Music?
See, have music. I can now. I think the 5minBot music for next season should be Missy Elliott's 1 Minute Man. Way better.
I hope so. I hope that we get some really creative, more creative music for the individual.
So we've got the hatch first here by our Zerg player. He is not 12 pulling. I repeat, not 12 pulling.
5minBot's oh, it's gone. I was like, it's still up.
But 5minBot's actually doing the 2-racks thing that it's always actually done, which is pretty interesting. And I know I keep messing up the I keep calling them players, but they're not. They're bots.
They would prefer you call them players, though.
No, they don't get that status.
They're not people.
Okay. The thing is, like, did HjaxBot announce what it did? Was it like last time it announced what it was going to do? Did it do it this time?
It did announce it last time. No, it did not. Not this time around. I think it may have announced its own name.
I hope when Skynet comes over, I hope it does the same thing. It just it just declares what it's gonna do and who it is, and it's like grind up humans.
Is this actually the first TVZ we've had?
Maybe.
Yes, it is.
It is very well maybe. So that'll be interesting as we'll get the most iconic matchup in StarCraft somehow, as the Reaper will come in. So far, Reapers have been interesting. They tend to throw the grenade like where something is instead of where it's moving. Yeah, so like that.
and that's what we were talking about, though, the whole ability casting versus like the actual unit firing.
Yeah.
But this is like pretty abusable micro that HjaxBot is, or 5minBot's exploiting, because the Zerglings will only attack when it's on the high ground and then they move away.
Yeah.
Well, they're coming around then.
The interesting thing, and to remember how this works, every time the Reaper goes down the cliff, the Zerglings forget it's there and the Reaper forget the Zerglings are there.
Yeah.
Every time.
But no, it's interesting. And HjaxAI bot is actually taking the third one instead of the normal third that most people in the world take.
Well, they're not people. They don't need to do what you would do. That's the thing. Like, that's what we're really hoping for them to like discover strategies that we didn't think about. Like, maybe this is the optimum way.
It is not the optimal way.
maybe not, but it may work out.
So speed's done, and Reaper actually has a safe haven of actually going to the middle ground between the main, but it's gonna get away. Is it gonna get away?
Oh, I don't think it's gonna get away.
Are you sure this isn't a Velobot losing the first Reaper like this? Like, feels like a Velobot.
In disguise.
Yeah, in disguise. Secretly, a Velobot murdered 5minBot.
Took his skin, climbed in.
Yep.
Yeah, 5minBot being pretty defensive here with the bunker up front, and some bio sitting around the front as well. HJax is just going for basically the opposite of what we saw last round, which is just very macro heavy types of play.
I think it's playing safe. It's just one of those, it's not risking losing it so far into the finals.
Yeah, and this is actually a really interesting time. Combat Shields is done, and the small group of Bio might get stuff done if they kite perfectly. We do have a lot of Zerglings actually coming out. So definitely see a lot more refinement in the programming than like the first round. Here comes the attack. Zerglings are going to start spawning. We'll see how much damage they can get done. They're all actually trickling in against the Terran units, which isn't what you want. You kind of want to overwhelm them. But yeah, it's actually going relatively well. He's going to clean up this army. I wonder, he's going to go in the burrow, which is very interesting, actually.
That queen really, really helped that out.
Oh, yeah, it tanked a lot of the damage. But burrow is like another one of those kind of abilities where does it like, what will it do? Will it like burrow the expansions? Will it burrow like a bunch of lings and wait till the bio goes over it?
We did see in one of the games, and maybe was HjaxBot, but maybe not, that did use the burrow specifically to put one ling in every expansion location. I think that was CreepyBot actually. And that was hyper effective because the Protoss bot that it was playing against literally didn't know what happening.
To do. Yeah. I feel like burrow and cloak are just really abusable things that you can do. As you can see, there's like no spore crawlers whatsoever. I feel like a Velo bot would definitely be really good against any Zerg players, just because like in mass amounts of cloak Banshee. Of course, the same thing can be said about Zerg. Just the whole like playing against Terran, you just really have to like, because it's all about like tech swapping, right? So I feel like Zerg is just initially at a disadvantage when it comes to programming, right? Because it's like you have to like, it's usually Zergs that tech swap that like kill Terrans more so, because if you stay on the same thing, it's not going to work out. You have to force the Terran to make changes.
Oh, there we go. We have the burrow. I wonder if 5minBot feels threatened by. Oh, did it just scan? Where did it scan? I wonder if it. Oh, okay. I was wondering if it would scan if it discovered it couldn't build in those areas. Would it look to see why it couldn't build? Or if it, for example, DTs attacked it, would it use scan? I can't remember if it used scan defensively.
I think when the DTs attacked, it knew. Like, I think you can know that it's a cloak unit when the attack has occurred.
But not if they're just passing by.
I think if they were just standing there, not doing anything, it didn't realize that. And I don't know if it realizes that. Like, from at least the view of the Protoss that we had playing against this, it didn't know what to do. It just kept trying to build the Nexus there, and it wasn't until an observer just happened to wander over.
So we're going to find out right now.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
I think if I remember correctly, they just actually move it further and far mine.
Yeah, yeah, that's ultimately what it did. It built further out.
Technically, you could kill it with friendly fire. Oh, it did scan.
Oh, it did.
It does get now. He didn't attack it. There we go.
It's still built anyways.
There we go. So,
an interesting thing about this game so far is that HjaxAI is actually in the supply lead. I think in most games, 5minBot's macro has been pretty much on point, and it's always been leading in supply. And this is the one game where it's not like that. This actually looks like a normal TBZ.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
nice here triple surround here on the tank and bio, just completely.
There's no pickup. There's no pickup.
Yeah.
Widow Mine drop's not going to do shnikes. Yeah, this really sucks as 5minBot. I think like HjaxAI just wins with pure Zerglings, which is pretty much like every other WCS game that you've ever seen. So
don't be too salty.
But no, it's really cool, and the Spire's coming out too. I would say HjaxAI's bot is doing really well. Could potentially take this. Everyone was favoring 5minBot going to this, but after seeing this game, I would say that HjaxAI looks like the favorite just from this first game so far.
That's a lot of Zerglings, and he just overwhelmed the whole thing, just run him over.
Yeah, he just swarmed it, and he came from 3 different angles as well to just converge on that location, which was super effective.
Now I wonder if it's just taking the moment to think about if it should attack or if it's waiting, or like why isn't it just not gone in?
Yeah.
It's like we've seen these bots are very, very, very like defensive. Yeah, they're hesitant. They they usually want to know that they're winning before they go in, like for attacking purposes specifically, unless they're poking in and they're blind.
This is crazy amount of bio or of Zerglings. If there's a lot of bio, actually, like splitting is actually really bad against mass Zerglings. I'm pretty sure HJax knew this, and this is why they're not going Banes. Going Zerglings, like when you split like this, it's actually like Zerglings get full wraparounds against units. So I think honestly, like HJax just did really good job, like more so than like 5minBot when it came to the preparation, because. Yeah, like honestly, like against a Velo bot, like this would obviously not work, right? Because like even like 5 Hellbats could like take all these Zerglings out. But Viking
here too.
Interesting meta behavior.
But that's game. I think that's game pretty much.
Just getting on top of everything here now. There's nothing left to take this out.
I like how these Mutalisks have been flying. These Mutalisks have some interesting.
This is like ultimate Jaedong micro, like. Controlling like Jaedong uses like what 2 control groups. Freaking this HJax bot has like every muta on a single different height.
and I don't know what these ones are doing. The Vikings are like somehow responding weirdly to it.
Yeah, I feel like if you just like Hellbat, like obviously if a player saw that means Zerglings, they would just go like Hellbat Viking would just end this.
I think they're trying to outrange this Viking. Like I feel like that's ultimately what they're coming in and they're like, oh, getting hit, and they're pulling back.
Yeah, 106 Zerglings.
Part of me wonders if they think the planetary fortress is a threat.
No, I think it's the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to really guess on that.
Look at all these Mutalisks.
That's weird.
They got the Zergling.
Whatever they're doing. No, see, as soon as the planetary went down.
Oh, you're right. It was the planetary they were afraid of.
I don't know why. Yeah, that's weird.
They were afraid of the planetary.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's it. That's
very interesting behavior, and that was a dominant performance there by HjaxAI.
Yeah, like it. Oh, we have a video running right now? Oh, there we go.
It's back. It's back. Yeah, dominant performance there. Was able to 5minute bot felt a little slower getting like a third base up or really getting the macro going. HJax just went out and took a bunch of bases quite quickly, connected creep quite quickly, held the first small attack by 5minBot, and then just literally swarmed to death.
I'm wondering though if the bots will change their strategy. Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna be going on. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, we're going on to like. I wonder if the maps will make a bit of a difference. We're going on to Acid Plant. If there are places that maybe have a better choke or something like that, then the swarm may not work as well. But we'll see.
Key thing to remember is that they were allowed to veto maps in this. They each were allowed 1 veto. HJax was vetoed Darkness Sanctuary, and Tourist vetoed 16-bit LE. Woo! We might have to do that intro again, seeing as we were in there.
That's him.
That's that guy.
Whew. Yeah. So that's HjaxAI. Assuming that people can see this, and I think they can. All right,
take it to you guys.
Yeah, and then down. You go
ahead. you lost your privilege.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Don't introduce it.
All right. Oh yeah, we'll just let it introduce itself.
Yeah.
5minBot. I want the GSL voice. We should have had like 5minBot.
5minBot.
LE.
Yeah.
Was it raid call?
Raid call.
I was trying to think of the name of that thing the other day.
The one that was
mentioning all the stuff we used to use and went away. And I was like, there's that one that nobody ever used, but they were trying to push it really hard.
Curse voice?
It's raid call.
Who was it? Was it Jim? Who was sponsored? What? Then they were on. It was Team Liquid. It was Team Liquid.
EG was sponsored.
Was it EG?
By RC, but
yeah, EGRC. Yeah.
So was it like Idra, Raid, RC? Like I'm trying to remember when they.
Muslim, yeah.
Was it the Muslim? Who was it? Who was in GSL that had that?
Yeah, live. EG Alive RC.
Yeah.
So I remember I used to like giggle when they would announce it. It's like
just the extra letters.
Raid call. Did MLG ever use those kind of voices, or is it just GSL?
I don't think MLG ever did.
Oh, put the depot up, you can kill it. Nice.
He does. Does he trap it?
Yeah.
See, there we go again with the grenade. Just way behind.
Is this a best of 3?
A best of 7.
Oh, best of 7. All right.
Best of 5. Sorry, best of 5.
Best of 5.
Best of 5.
Now, like, if the same game happens, I'm actually afraid for 5minBot. I feel like HjaxAI pretty much knew going to this. Probably talked to some of his teammates about, like, what do you think is the best thing to do against a bio bot that doesn't actually go a mass amount of tanks. You know, the tanks weren't really ever used in all of their matchups. It's more so just the bio and multitasking, which we've always thought was, like, so dominating throughout the whole, like, tournament. But it goes to show, like, just overwhelm them. Like, just overwhelm them, make it so their micro doesn't really matter. You just trade more efficiently, and you have a better economy behind it.
The Reaper definitely getting a better start in this game. Just kind of kiting everything down, and the Lings don't really know to pull back there. But not knowing exactly what to target fire, he wasn't able to get the drone instead of before it was able to put that third base down.
I'm curious to know how much of for HjaxAI being a GM player comes into play to know to program his bot versus say Arcturus, who I'm going to assume is not a GM player, and making the optimum strategy.
I mean, knowing the strategy and programming it, I would feel it's a lot different.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because they're playing so much nowhere near optimal that. Yeah, it's almost not right. I could see a world in which it actually could potentially hurt you. To be like, well, someone should do this and they would defend against this, but a bot
bots don't actually do it.
Never going to do that, so it doesn't make sense. But like
this 5minBot's getting like this Reaper getting
For instance, this 8-kill Reaper is not usually in a GM game.
No,
it's very few.
Nope. Moving on again.
Push out again. I'm pretty sure HjaxAI after these drones, if it did the same programming as last time, is going to make a bunch of Zerglings, or it will have to reach a certain drone count before it makes Zerglings.
That's true too. Yeah, like the way that the triggers work for some of these things, it may just do it obviously once it sees an attack, but there's like 14 of them. Yeah.
They're on the way though, but like honestly, like if 5minBot went behind the mineral line and not like out in the middle of everywhere, you know, positioning is definitely can be microed, I think. Like right? Like shouldn't that be micro? But they're like again, they're trickling in. And they could kite forward. I think going behind the mineral line, they would definitely get way better like odds. But they're still trading relatively well. It's just how economy works. Like no drone kills going down. It's just Zerglings, pretty much just dumping minerals. You have the cannon fodder, which is Zerglings, and they're gonna clean up the last Marine, and then Marauders are pretty easy to kill with just Zerglings.
These Queens. Oof.
Yeah, the Queens were what holds this whole thing, and the behavior of the Marauders was a little bit odd too. It was just juking there a lot of the time instead of really firing.
Yeah, I think stem timing would have been a lot stronger than a combat shield timing. But of course, like I said, like it's all about longevity of units. I guess you could also say like the more units you keep, or the longer you keep alive, the more potential damage you might do, especially in a more dumbfounded position like this, where it's all about programming, not reactions. So,
I wonder if it would have been better served to wait for medevacs, because I don't know. I feel like
there's something to be said about right around that timing. Like if someone took the 3 bases, there's something to be said for wanting to punish them right then. And if they were then controlled completely correctly, like if they didn't just stand there and shoot, like then that would have been fine. Like if a human took over the control of the bio units, they would have won.
So this is more like a micro programming fail rather than like a timing and
I think so.
Yeah, it was really good by HjaxAI though. Like the style is definitely more of a broken style against a predictable Terran play. And that's one of the reasons why like bio pushouts like that are pretty bad against Zerg, just because like you can just kind of overwhelm any initial without like the key stem or like +1. Like combat shields is nice, but it won't win you the game.
Yeah. Should they ever just try to focus down on the hatchery, or was it?
No, I feel like that's even worse. You'll never kill a hatchery when there's trickling units out. Like they'll just get free they'll get free hits on you, pretty much.
What's a good priority then? What should it have?
Drones. Honestly, like pushing out right there is bad, but if you were pushing out, queens but drones going behind the mineral line and just try and trade out. Maybe putting your marauders in the gaps of the mineral lines to try to like body block zerglings, just because they do tank a little bit more damage. And just targeting all the drones. Oh,
the Spire's coming up.
Yeah,
we've got my Mutalisk.
Got another planetary coming down again, so I want to see if it behaves weird around that again.
Or they're scared of the planetary?
Yeah, I just want to see if that is the case, that it does something weird to it.
Now, with enough Marines with +1/+1 against Lings, you can, like, with like a lot of medevacs, you can potentially just weather the storm. Because like that's why that's why Zerg players go Banelings, is because like you can't just have pure Zerglings against a somewhat bit larger or like smaller Terran force. Now this tank is actually really weird. It's actually sieging, which is relatively nice. I wonder if that's going to trigger an attack. No, don't do that. Wow, this is actually really weird because the Zerglings aren't hanging. The medevacs are late to the party. Really, I feel like the medevacs are just derping really hard.
They just forgot all about it.
I think the pathing is also weird, that the Terran programming isn't really coming involved. Like the medevacs were like over where the Zerg army was. I think there's a rally point issue.
We've seen that with a number of the air units. We saw kind of in one of our highlights from previous series that the overseers went into the base and the army had to take the ramp, so there was nothing to see a DT.
I remember that one.
The air units just take a beeline and the other units path. So they must just rally them all the same way or something.
Well, they're just like, this is the most efficient route. Forget all y'all.
So this
is really interesting. The amount of Marauders is actually like questionable, even from like a point of like, if you're a Terran player, Marines obviously deal more DPS to Zerg units than Marauders. So I would feel like you want to go more Marauder or more Marines and then sprinkle in Marauders. But the early game has been like, I think I've seen like over like 6 Marauders already, which is, a lot. It's like not too much gas, but it's quite a bit of minerals. It's like 2 Marines worth. So it's
So what are the Mutalisks doing?
Look at those SCVs.
They're literally orbiting the orbital. Like they're orbiting the planetary. Yeah, they're orbiting the planetary in range of the like what are they doing?
Now this is a somewhat closer game because there's no Banelings, and with medevacs and Marines and +2/+2.
So now we're getting the swarm is coming. Here come the Lings. There are SCVs.
There's a repair, which is actually pretty big.
It's really good.
But they're not getting focused at all. This is why you need Banelings or Hydras or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like that PF is just going to kill all the Zerglings. Maybe not. Maybe barely just die, but it's going to trade out a lot. The 5minBot programming is like isolating a lot of mutas in the main with the Marines. Problem is that there's Zerglings in the natural.
Yeah. They have taken out the SCVs repairing.
Did they go straight for the SCVs, or did that some sort of like?
I think they almost only did it as they got a complete surround and had no choice. That seemed to be what that looked like to me. Now SCVs are coming out to finish the repair on the turret.
Oh wow! It survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have barely survived or something. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, Lings go down super fast to something like a PF. These mutas.
I'm super fascinated by the mutas in general.
While they would have been like such a great thing to have, they're not filling their potential. I don't know what they're doing.
I like this little dance here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They're like coming in.
Dance of death.
Yeah. But it's not as good as was it the Banshee where it would
the Banshee was better.
Yeah, the Banshee had it much better. This is flying it.
Literally orbited. It was awesome. These ones are like doing a weird patrol move thing.
Dance, revolution.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there, but it's lovely. Do we have a pause or halt in our game? It's fine now. So yeah, now the SCVs are kind of doing weird stuff. they're almost acting like they're being attacked because there's things around that could attack them. The Ling's coming in here on the Marines. And this is kind of what you're talking about, Esquire, that the Marines with enough medevac support can, to a certain point, just stand there. But eventually there's a limit to it.
Yeah. I mean, the Zerg's macro is just unparalleled.
Oh, this is like all mined out now. There's a lot of pain here. Nothing but pain.
Yeah. And Lings, again, like there's often some like target priority issues that they'll kind of insist on attacking something through a weird choke. But now eventually going after these depots and we'll clear up some space.
Dude, that PF's got like 56 kills.
Yeah.
The real MVP.
56, 57, 58. It's pretty good PF. Definitely the PF decision makes a lot of sense. Almost to the point that I think, given how much it's going to mess up the other AIs, you almost think that maybe you want all your CCs to PF regardless.
I wonder how it knows to decide to go PF instead of orbital. Like, I wonder if it just decides like randomly, or if it's just like if it's actual.
Yeah, third base. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It must just be told third base PF. And that would be like a simple.
Somehow I wonder that if the correct strategy would be to screw out the pathing by building, because we were watching when we saw the Zerglings all in Hjax's, in 5minBot's base. If there was, say, well-placed tanks or whatever, they would have just obliterated most of this army.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just build programming win.
They're finally. Here we go.
So this HJax just said this in chat. He's got a trigger or something in that says if he builds too many mutas, they stop microing in a move only.
Okay, is that what happened?
Pretty cool programming, though.
That is a pretty good. Obviously,
it preserves the count. Yeah,
the number there. Maybe the number was 40 or 30 mutas. It should have been 5. Because they didn't do anything up until then. So I don't know what they were microing out. Yeah,
so that's pretty much like a Gem Rising amount of mutas.
Yeah.
Or a penguin, I guess. But
it's a good game in there. Maybe that's the plan, though. Keep them alive no matter what, and then when they hit a critical mass, go.
So I'm wondering, though, Mike, I'm curious to see that with HJax, if, why these mutas in general just kind of sit on patrol. Is that because I don't think they're scared of the planetary. I think it's just...
I think it's the zone. The zone.
Is it zone?
It's gotta be something. Yeah. Because this time it literally sat on top of a planetary in range of a turret and just danced there.
Yeah.
And didn't seem to care.
It didn't seem like it was interested in going in. All right, so we'll do our manual intros. Oh, rip. HjaxAI. We were just getting some information from Sarah. Oh, well, no one can hear. Well, it sounds like we're just talking to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently the Meta AI can mess with the Bio AI, or at least a particular bot as well. And there was a game where apparently in the prelims, HJax mined out the entire map, but ended up in a draw because it lost to Bio, but then the Bio didn't finish him off because it was just chasing mutas for the rest of the game. Something like that.
I wonder if that would be on Darkness Sanctuary. I feel like it's a Darkness.
I think it's Dreamcatcher.
Oh, Dreamcatcher.
I'm pretty sure.
is just this is my favorite. Like I heard that I can't remember if HjaxAI was saying that his bot does poorly on Redshift, or if it was that 5minBot that does poorly on Redshift. Because originally when they did vetoes, HjaxAI actually, so it would have been 5min. He assumed that Arcturus was going to veto Redshift, and he ended up vetoing 16-bit LE.
Can we talk about this positioning of the spawning pool?
Yeah. Very clever positioning.
To stop the tin pool Bane coming.
Yeah. This is suboptimal. So
I wonder if this is actually going to affect the programming, because speed's going to be like it was pretty late.
It won't have the gas that he wants. Obviously.
So that potentially could mean everything's going to be late, like the upgrades and the layer and the mutas. I wonder how that will play into the programming, because if this combat shield timing does come this game, which I'm going to assume it will. It's going to be slow links. It's not going to be speed links.
Yeah, he has started speeds.
Like potentially, this Reaper could do a lot more damage now.
I'm curious how it's gonna react. Like if the timings are off, will it just adjust, or will it be like, oh, forget that then?
Yeah, it did get up to, I mean, in this particular case where it gets the 100 and stops mining, it's obviously delayed from that, but it presumably the trigger is how much it has mined. And we'll see, I guess, when it starts mining again, but there's no inclination to do so yet. But it may affect these all crucial mutas that have to come out later.
Well, I know it's how we're gonna. I like the gold bases. I wish they would abuse them more in these games.
It'll be interesting here too, because the gold base is going to be the gold base is protected, and the main base is up a ramp. So if we get this mass Ling style, does 5minBot now have two very protected bases to do it? Yeah, and the third base will be the natural, which presumably would be a PF, and that would be pretty well protected too. So now maybe the Ling swarm isn't as good, and we might get a different outcome.
I'm hoping for, the PF basically to be the MVP again and get 20 kills. I'm feeling a 20 kill PF this time around.
This building positioning though for 5minBot it just screams like what Ruff would do.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just like your natural is a PF. I mean, it's not as natural per se, but like if you ever play Ruff, he always like does weird stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna make my nat PF or something like that.
Big missed opportunity here to not be able to go after the gold base, because if these were attacking from behind that mineral line, this is a definite win. Much better micro here this time by the Bioforce.
Here we go.
Like Boxer micro, and the Marauders are doing quite a bit of damage, Yeah,
again, still will get cleaned up by this and pushed back anyway, but
where was this micro before though? Where was this micro?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It wasn't quite there.
Skynet, please.
I think even a rally or programmed the rally at the gold base where the Zerg's at would have been huge.
Yeah, if he just attacked from behind this mineral line, it would get a lot of kills before anything could be done about it. And the queens would not really be able to come over to assist.
I like the...
but Stem's going to finish up soon, and there are a couple medevacs out. So this potentially has, this could be a better game just right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely could be. The HjaxAI still does have, of course, the economy advantage, the military advantage as well here. But both of them operating off the gold base will help.
Yeah, the circling pretty much blocked the hatchery from going out. It's going in. Locked out. I always love that about how they do the supply depots.
Perfect depots.
Perfect depots. Perfect depots, perfect creep. The ideal player.
It's the way to be. It's the way to be. Already starting to mine. I like that birds are behind the goal base. That's kind of, I wonder what it's there for. Maybe it just tried to go there and then it kind of blocked.
I wonder if that's a lot for vision as well, because you know, instead of sending overlords over there, it's just, you know, building right by each base to keep an eye on whether or not someone goes in.
Yeah, definitely possible. But we've got.
But obviously they're blocking.
I mean, we can see on this natural too that obviously it's attempting to block that, but it just goes to the closest place to it. This still a CC so far. We don't have a PF or anything yet, but maybe that will be.
Oh, we got movement.
Movement indeed. The medevacs. So this again, we talked about in the last game that the medevacs seem to just go to a location, and the bio gets there when it gets there.
See you later, suckers.
Now there's gonna be an awkward phase to the game where the gold bases are gonna run out, and then the patches are gonna be gone. So.
Definitely.
We'll
see. This drop, if this drop unloads, no, it will retreat for literally no reason. That would have been an excellent drop because it would take so long for the army to get around to that. Now we've got the PF is done, and the Lings are choosing this time to flood in. Bio on the ramp, pretty good positioning. We'll take half the
solid.
Yeah, this is probably the best case scenario for 5minBot. Attacking to the PF. Can't kill the PF. Going up the ramp, that doesn't work either.
Coming out to distract it.
PF!
It may.
It survives.
It will get saved.
Oh,
yes.
Snap.
Oh, so barely.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that was a huge army supply sacrifice down there. There is the Muta. I guess we're calling this an attack in the gold base. At least some sort of observation patrol.
Advanced scouting technique.
Yeah, exactly. It's occasionally they fire the glaives, like occasionally.
Once when it feels like it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Muta dance parties. I think that will be my favorite thing when I look back on this tournament. Will be one of the Muta dance parties or the Marines that can't get up the ramp.
The interesting thing is the Marines pulling back. And I feel
when they're not in danger, the Marines won't come.
Yeah.
So when the Mutas are technically move commanding and not attacking anything, that's when the Marines will fight back.
That APM though.
Yeah, we got 66,000 to 40,000. all good use. All of that is clearly effective APM.
Every unit is moving at the same time.
5minBot topping. Almost hitting the 100,000. I don't know if there's enough digits to do the 100,000. I got to keep an eye on it. There we go. Yep, 119,000.
I would like to see a layout of all the moves that it's doing.
They stretch their wrist a lot before the game.
Can you imagine? No. Every unit that needs to be moved is being used. It's probably mining manually.
It's quite possible.
And probably most efficiently as possible.
Quite possible.
So why let it auto mine when I could?
It's an interesting thing here where the Terran army is so much bigger and could be in complete control, but it's still almost in this weirdly defensive mode.
It's scared.
It's just absorbing.
Though, because with even upgrades going to the PF base with Zerglings, even if it's just a couple, it's like just giving away free units right now.
Yeah.
And like that bio is definitely at the critical mass where like infinite number of Mutas and Zerglings could like just or won't like ever kill it. I'm at 11:10 right now.
I'm at 11:05. So I think I'm 5 minutes behind, or 5 seconds.
So you're 5 seconds behind us. So we will either predict you into the future.
22, 23, 24, 25.
All right, I've synced with you.
28, 29.
Yep, I'm synced with you. I'm synced with you. There we go.
I'm at 11:35. So.
All right. So yeah. So basically, this seems to be an endless flood in.
But HjaxAI is taking more bases though, which I guess if you throw away all these units, like as long as you have the economy for it, but And there's no 3-3 in the way either, which is kind of like scary, I guess you could say. I think it's just because the repair constantly on the PF is kind of like deterring that into programming, because you can't build a bank up. But the gold base is pretty much almost mined out.
Yeah.
And then I wonder when there's going to be one decisive move out from 5minBot.
Here we are with those mutalisks, our flying scouts. Oh, they went in.
Yeah, they're kind of semi-attacking, or at least they were for a second there. One thing is the presence of the mutas, despite weirdly not stopping the gas mining, is stopping the mineral mining.
I love how they dart in and they're like, oh, that's dangerous, I'm coming out now. Yeah. And then they move away.
But I almost feel like as long as the attack or some semblance of an attack continues, the 5minBot will never move out.
No, yeah, it's constantly in defensive mode. It's never going to like base trade. That's not something I think it plans to do.
Yeah. In this game, this time around, there's like no turrets.
Oh yeah, that's something interesting.
There's also no Vikings on 5minBot's side either.
I wonder why it made that decision. Like, I wonder how it came to the conclusion that it shouldn't make any Vikings and shouldn't make any turrets at all. Yeah.
The other super weird thing, like, forget the number of bases. A 5minBot has stopped mining.
Oh my God, you're right.
Like, for all intents and purposes, it like, because it detects a threat, it has basically stopped mining pretty much everywhere.
But it's not. It
actually goes back on the PF, but it's abandoned the other bases pretty much, except the gas.
Well, if you look at the ones in the the main, like they will start mining and then they will pull back to repair and stop mining again. So I think these mutalisks are causing it distress. I think it's under like duress for the idea of what it should be doing in terms of priority.
That's definitely appears to be the case. And literally the tactic of throwing away your units in a big stream has caused HJax to catch up in army supply.
Oh my goodness.
And its economy is way, way, way better.
How did we get to this point?
Yeah. And even just these occasional attacks by...
Yeah, now the damage on the PF is actually doing damage.
Yeah.
Just because there is no mining.
There's no SCVs there. They're not repairing this anymore because they went back home for some reason.
So, yeah. HJax wins in a long... Like, this is like the biggest slaughter of Zerg. This is
These
like...
Marines, look at them. They're just...
like, they have no concept of what to do.
They're just like freaked out.
Yeah.
These Marines are just freaked out right now. They're just and I think these Marines could have cleaned it up. They could have gone down and cleaned it up.
They could have done yeah, they may be going. I don't know what they're going.
The worst part is it's basically one Marine fell down and then they signaled for the rest to come down with it.
But they're just going to do whatever this is. No, they're going to go back up. One CC does get taken out.
I wonder if they're caught between CCs. If they're like where they should be, where they're confused about which is the more priority, where they should be paying attention.
Wow,
maybe. Yeah, it's hard to say what they're doing.
They're going to win this game in the most ridiculous of fashion.
This is absolutely hilarious. Oh,
can we see the resources lost? There you go. Oh my gosh, 27,000 to 9,000. Like in any game of a professional level, definitely you would never see these kinds of numbers, and the game would still be going on.
Oh, the mutas now actually just did kind of a move into the army there. I wonder if they hit their magic number.
They must be at their cap.
It was close. They're at 29 now, so they must have spiked above that, back up to 30. That would be interesting if they were completely winning the game and then hit a point where they all aim it.
They just threw themselves away.
Yeah. Whatever. It's hard to decipher at all what the Marines are trying to do. Like
5minBot is being eaten from the inside, essentially.
Yeah, what their priority is at the moment is impossible to determine.
I think they think the same thing. I don't know. Yeah. They have no clue what their priority is.
Now, the big question is, with this 82 army supply, because there's no more workers left for 5minBot, can it kill all these Zerglings and Mutas? I think if it had 3-3, yes.
Yeah.
I think
if they just sat there and fight, if they just sat there and fought, then yes. But as it goes across the map, like even if it was to just go across the map now, it would face double this army supply on the way over, like one at a time.
I would like to.
There's 40 again, and so the mutas decide to fight and get slaughtered. But these ones over here didn't come.
Oh,
that is true. It did.
Oh, it's stem. The Terran player stem.
All right.
It's actually really bad.
Did stem.
Here we go.
This is
Slaves are pretty much failings at this point.
Something is happening.
This is brutal. I can't watch.
The medevac's pretty much out of energy here too.
This is what it must feel like to be like surrounded, like the Vietnam War or something. Like you're surrounded by all sides, and you guys are just getting picked apart one by one.
Oh my god! Just like Vietnam.
Just like Vietnam. Like every time the units attack, you lose your friends, and there's nowhere to go.
A queen finally getting over because it was trying to go to that base.
Is it trying to go to the gold base? Is that where it's...
Definitely. I'm certain of it.
Essentially, though, these medevacs are drained.
Like, is this PF the last building? I believe it is now.
Yeah, it is. This PF is the final building. They're gonna protect it with everything they have.
This is amazing. Here comes a wave. Here comes a wave into the PF. No, it treated.
Oh my god, this is literally Vietnam.
Oh!
That micro though.
Oh no, they left the PF.
Yeah.
Protect the PF.
They did. We're getting very little reduction on their Marine force, despite its low health. They're taking very, very few hits.
Good trades.
Yeah. No one could doubt that these are good trades. They're just not accomplishing goals.
It's so true. Ooh. Oh my god, those mutalisks coming up from the left of the planetary.
If Terran wins this, I'm going to... There's like no way. There's
just
no way.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for a while he could have at least resumed SCV production, but he can't now because he's out of
so potentially medevacs infinite amount of energy.
Yeah.
It
is possible. Like if it somehow literally held the rest of this position, then
could you imagine if that's how it wins? It just holds its position and just kills every mulus?
Yeah. It's weird that HX's behavior has now changed. It's not. We're not getting this Ling flood anymore.
Is it just going mulus? Are we just seeing mulus at this point?
Yeah, there's 35 Lings on the map somewhere, but they're not swarming in like they were before. At some point, we're going to hit this 40 muta window again.
And then they're just going to come on in, just drop in.
So we're at 38 now, but they keep coming in and taking this one volley on the PF, and with no...
Oh, 40. Here they come.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The teardown.
Was good.
And then the reset.
That's hilarious.
That is just very interesting behavior. If there was one SCV, they're queued up here, but they can't come out because... there's no depots left. So we're sitting there there must be something somewhere else because there's a 15 supply.
So where did these Lings go? Where are these 45 Lings? What are they doing?
Can you hit T to look for buildings for a sec? Yeah. Is there something else? No. Oh. So it is just the PF. I guess just the innate plus the whatever. So, basically, he could get reduced to his Marines down to the point that an SCV comes out and repairs the PF.
I'm actually starting to believe into the whole Vietnam metaphor right now because they're holding out in this like little cubby hole of this planetary fortress, waiting.
And they have healed. I mean, remember, at one point, all these Marines were at 1 hit point.
Yeah, I mean, they're waiting for the 40 muta attack squad to come in. It's going to be like a Viet Cong attack.
This one muta
Is this one Muta going to win the game? What is going on? What is
going? The one Muta. Oh, now he's got reinforcements here.
What is happening?
Forget Vietnam. This is like the Japanese War.
Okay, we've now hit the point. Okay, the game has ended because we've hit the point that this will burn down. And he will get it. He's going to go for the PF. It doesn't matter anymore. It will burn down.
Oh my God.
Pretty dumbfounded.
So so we did get a 3-0, which we didn't exactly want. But yeah, I'd say that last game was worth it.
I think that's like the best possible 3-0 one could hope for.
Yeah. Taylor, do you ever remember losing a game in which you killed 30,000 more resources of your opponent?
No. Not even the other way around.
It would have been funny if you had said yes. Yes, it happens all the time, every time.
Yeah, that was just insane. Just a slaughter, but showing how literally constant attacking at any cost so messed up the AI's understanding of what to do that it just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I really wish 5minBot, because everyone that has watched this tournament has known that 5minBot goes bio. Just for once, going mech for a series, especially against a Zerg, I feel like would have been amazingly well. Right?
Do you think it's full mech, or were you talking about mech
just even a Hellbat push, or a Cloak Banshee. The Cloak Banshees helped the Velobot pretty much won him or got him leads in games that I feel like he shouldn't even gotten close to.
Yeah,
this. I feel like this game was 5minBot's to lose. I feel like 5minBot overall had a stronger macro, had a stronger army presence at some of the time, and had the better counters, but its micro is what caused it to
I agree.
It's unit selection too that we even saw in a previous game. It built turrets. It built Vikings. I think if there were turrets on the map, Vikings on the map, then the mutas may not have just sat
for sure,
whatever. So I think something like that, even Widow Mines just in random places, would have helped hold some of this off.
I still felt like 5minBot in general had, even though it didn't do some of its optimal strategy, it had a much stronger advantage over HjaxAI, but its micro, I think, even it did the timing, had the right timing to go at HJax. It's just its micro, condemned until maybe even until the third game. Yeah. That's when we saw the micro kind of pick up a bit.
Yeah, and I think there was some talk that around Queens, the micro fails more, but when it's away from Queens, it more and stuff like that. So yeah, something there. There's definitely a few things. I think if you focused on some of these areas and behaviors, one thing that is crystal clear through all the bots is they are tentative as hell. They won't engage. They do the dancing back and forth constantly, and they won't just close in and kill. The only thing that does close in and kill are actually melee units, which will decisively go in and attack something. We sometimes, again, to their own detriment. But
and one of that's that they're skittish. They're just well, I'm not going to attack unless unless these conditions are in. Do not commit completely. So it's questionable whether or not they make those decisions, right? And if that decision is what's holding them back, right? If they should have made this, if they can make decisions to go in, attack, like we saw at the Meatless, or that might lead to them death. I don't know, obviously, the programming, but I'm curious to know how it comes to decisions it does.
I think too, if it comes to a decision, and this again is how this sort of thing tends to work, but it's not like it comes to a firm decision. It comes to a decision, backs up 5 feet, gets brave again, wanders forward 5 feet, gets scared, backs up 5 feet. It doesn't make a firm decision that it then follows through with. It constantly makes the same decision over and over. And I think that's one of the things that maybe it's gonna be
more or less.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's the type of computerized thinking that it's like, this is just barely acceptable and this is just barely not acceptable. And so it will teeter on those 2 points.
Yep. So it's one of those things where it's unfortunate. And we've come to this point in the tournament where I think there's a lot of data for the StarCraft AI community to take away with. And for season 2, we're going to see a whole lot of newer bots.
Yeah.
It's been quite refreshing. It's been quite amazing to see these games unfold. We had a daring goal to show off some of the best of the StarCraft 2 AI community, and I think we accomplished that. I personally am surprised. I really did think 5minBot was going to win this tournament, but HjaxAI surprised us.
I think we all did.
Yeah. I think
it just shows how quickly they can be improved or adapted to specific play styles.
Absolutely. So that's gonna do it for here for us. For now, we're ready to close it up. But for season 2, it's gonna come sooner than you can expect. So if you are a bot person out there, you're making your own bot, you're just figuring it out, this is the time to get started.
Yeah.
Prepare your bot and get ready to enter it into season 2, because we have open brackets, so you can submit, put it in, goes into the pools, and if it comes right out into brackets, you're into the season 2 of ProBots. So let's end this off. Endersword, HjaxAI, where can they find you? Endersword, you first.
You can find me on Twitter at Endersword, and of course here doing Inside the Champ, Neutral Depot, and soon 2nd season of ProBots.
Woo! HjaxAI.
Everything, HjaxAI.
Everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything. Even like.
And we should say yes. There was a prize.
Yes, there was a prize.
Yeah. Top prize is $100. Second place is $50. We're hoping
USD.
that's USD. We're hoping that's at least incentive for people to go out there and prepare their bots and improve them for next season, hope with more notice this time. So hopefully this shines a light on it, and that's some sort of incentive to go ahead and do that.
Let's consider this notice. This is your notice. If you start making your bot right now, season 2 is coming. Get ready for it. Speaking of season 2, speaking of the ProBots, none of this stuff could not come together without your support. One of the biggest things that we rely on to help make great content is subscriptions on Twitch or our Patreon. Cue the Patreon, Mr. Terra. Twitch.tv, patreon.com, ESChamp. See if I can type in the bot at the same time. Yeah, sweet. Always feel free. Join our community. Help out. Help grow more esports. And bots, more bots.
I saw someone sub during the tournament, but I've scrolled past it and I can't find them again. But
I think it was PL Kitty. She was
it? Okay.
Yep. She came 11 months sub. Super shout outs to PL Kitty for being a part of the ESChamp tribe and making all this magic happen. Also, follow ESChamp on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. If you missed this or you didn't see all of it and you only came halfway and you're not a subscriber, it'll be up on YouTube, youtube.com/ESChamp. Go there, subscribe to that. You can see the VODs. Comes up a couple bit later. If you want them right now and you don't want to wait, subscribers, the VODs are ready for you as soon as we're finished. So other than that, I think this has been an amazing tournament. You guys have been great co-casters / the main casters for this. This is us. Can't wait to see you guys again for the next season of ProBots.
Підготуйтеся до реальності 4К 5G